Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video today, and today we have weekly rotations. Yeah, 7 fragrances that I wore in the previous week from November 8th all the way till November 14th. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Before we jump right into this video, you would leave down in the comment section below 7 fragrances that you wore the last week, or just whatever fragrance you wore the last week. Leave that down below. Me personally, I wear a lot of fragrances throughout the week. I have 7 right here to show you guys, but I wear sometimes 2 to 3 fragrances a day. Depends on what time of day, in the morning time, before bed sometimes, or even to work, of course, during midday. I'm just picking the 7 highlights that I want to show you guys, that's all. So starting Monday, November 8th, I wore Montblanc's Individual. Yeah, the Creed Original Santal, the $20 Creed Original Santal, if you will. This to me smells so good. It smells, man, it's one of my most favorite $20 to $30 fragrance ever because I like how Original Santal smells. Of course, it's very fresh. It has raspberry in here, which gives a lot of sweetness, but it always leans more on the kind of scratchy freshness side of things. The sweetness is never rich, it's never heavy, it never feels like it weighs you down in any way. It's a really uplifting type of sweetness, and it's not a type of sweetness that you see in a lot of fragrances out there. You might see it in Yop Homme, Creed Original Santal, and this one are just the 3 biggest fragrances that utilizes this kind of sweetness. So you're not gonna smell like a lot of people out there wearing Individual, that's for sure, and that's what I like about this one. 0 compliments that day, and this one lasts around 5 to 6 hours on my skin at all times. Sometimes I get lucky, I get 7 hours out of it, depends on the season. But yeah, generally, pretty decent performance. Next fragrance right here, Roses on Ice by Kilian Paris. This one is fantastic. This one and the next one, Angel Share, are the 2 fragrances that I wore so heavily this week, just on and off, in the morning, at night, doesn't matter. I've been testing them like crazy because I want to give you guys a full review of them coming up here soon. But yeah, these 2 I like a lot. I like how wearable they are, I like how pleasing they are, and I like how slightly bit unique they are as well. They will remind you just slightly of other fragrances on the market, just ever so slightly, but the way both of them were done smells so incredible. Like the pinnacle of what this DNA can achieve, in my personal opinion, when you factor in practicality, wearability, and mass appeal. Both of them accomplish that criteria very well. Now, Roses on Ice is the fresher one of the bunch. It has a really nice, fresh kind of rose cocktail in a way. The rose is not heavy, it's not grandma, it's very in the air, effervescence, kind of sparkly rose, alongside a really nice, fresh cucumber smell. Some people say cucumber salad. For me, I do get a little bit of that cucumberness. It does put me off slightly in the opening, but the more you wear it, the more you let it linger around on your skin, linger around the air, you tend to get a lot less of that. And what you're gonna get more is the rose. And the rose is fantastic. Straight down the line, unisex rose. A guy can wear this just as easily as a woman can wear this. Very pleasing, like I said again, spring, summertime, really good choice right here. And to me, I love that the price, not too much as well for a niche fragrance. You guys all know KILIANS can be very expensive, $200–300. This one is right around the line of $200, so not too expensive if we're just comparing KILIANS here. 0 compliments on that day, actually 0 compliment week, let's just get that out of the way. Performance on this one, on my skin, 4 hours, 5 hours, it really doesn't last way too long, given that it is a fresher fragrance, so there's that. But scent-wise, really enjoy it. Next is Angel Share, and this is the fall, winter time, the boozy, rich, warm, inviting. This is the one out of the 2 that dragged me into this collection. I smelled this for the first time, and I was like, okay, this is good. I like this. It smells unisex. Maybe a guy might not feel comfortable wearing this. And then I put it on my skin for the first time, first day, and I was so impressed. Number 1, I got 1 compliment on the first day that I wore this, and the performance is what impressed me the most. It projected like crazy. I feel like an aura of sweet, boozy, cinnamon, gourmandish goodness all around me, and it smells fantastic. Like I love every second of wearing it on that first day, and I've since ran through my sample of it. I bought myself a bottle of it, and then Kilian contacted me. They sent me this one and Roses on Ice, so I was like, well, now I have like an unopened Kilian Angel Shares that I can sell to any one of you guys if you guys want to buy it off me, that is. But yeah, this one, Fantastic fragrance for the fall and winter time, one of the most easiest to wear scents of all time, really. You wouldn't think cinnamon, boozy notes, praline, gourmand notes, you wouldn't think those would be super easy to wear, but the way it's done here, like I said with Roses on Ice, is just so perfect. Like, it's so perfectly blended and so skewed towards the mass appeal, wearability, practicality, while still at the same time retaining its own unique-ish DNA as well. So really, really impressed with Angel's Chair. I gotta be honest with you, man. The first time I heard about this fragrance, I see all the positive reviews on YouTube. Now it's like, how good can it actually be? Because I'm always skeptical myself, being a user of fragrances too. But man, you really can't deny. I was going into this fragrance with full skepticism, and hey, it destroyed me. So I don't know what else to say. I love this thing. I bought a bottle for myself. So yeah, Angel's Chair by Kilian performs extremely well, very mass appealing, highly recommended. One of the best release of 2020. All right, next one. Armani Code Colonia. This one is fantastic office fragrance right here. If you want a lighter version of the original Armani Code, this is a great choice. Now, it still retains the Armani Code tonka bean that's in here. You're still gonna get that kind of heaviness in the background, so it's not an uber fresh fragrance altogether. It will smell like a white linen t-shirt coming off the opening. It's gonna smell clean, it's gonna smell professional, but as it dries down, you're gonna get more sweetness, you're gonna get that tonka bean start to come out, the playfulness of the original Armani Code start to come out, and that's what makes this fragrance, to me, a quite unique approach to an office scent. Because when a lot of brands approach office scents, they tend to go clean, they tend to go citrusy or aquatic or vetiver, just straight clean or fresh. This one touches sweetness, really nicely done, and it pays homage to all the fans of the original Armani Code. If you like the original, you'll like this one for the office time or the summertime. Next one here, Cafe Rose by Tom Ford. This is really good, really good. I will say one thing. Is very unisex leaning feminine, which means that a lot of guys might not find this too appealing. If you're a macho, masculine, you are on your Harley driving at like 100 miles an hour on a highway. If that's who you are, this is not for you. Really not. This one has coffee, of course, hence the name coffee. There's rose in here. It's denser. The rose comes across slightly bit just heavy, like on the heavy side, so that's where a lot of guys are gonna be put off by this fragrance. The coffee in here plays second to the rose. It's mainly about the rose in here. The coffee just adds a little bit of a gourmandish kind of touch, if you will. It just plays a little bit of a sweetener role in the fragrance, so you're not gonna get too heavily of that coffee. But it still smells really good. I like this one a lot. It has a signature Tom Ford kind of suit and tie vibe to it. Some elegance, upscale type of feeling. You find that in this one as well. Is it my favorite of all Tom Ford fragrances? I would say not really my favorite of all Tom Ford fragrances. Now, if I were to recommend something from this same line that I like better than this one, I would say Noir de Noir. It has a similar rose, but instead of coffee, it's chocolate. And in that one, you feel the chocolate a lot more prominently than you do the coffee in this one. Next one, Dolce & Gabbana The One EDP. My camera would focus. This one I wore once again because I wanted to remind myself of how amazing it is. I wanted to see if I still get the same magic as I did when I used to wear it a lot more in the past. And the answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. This one continues to surprise me whenever I wear it, whenever I just throw it on casually. I'm like, this is still really good. I would say still a top tier fragrance, still a legendary in the All-Star Hall of Fame territory type of designer fragrance. A lot of fragrance that comes after it, although some try to copy the DNA of this one, some tries to use fresh tobacco, tries to use the cardamom that's in this fragrance. None of them does it as good as the One EDP. And that's saying something about how this one kind of stood the test of time in a way. Dior Sauvage is another one that comes to mind when it comes to legendary scents. That one got copied a ton, and I can definitely say there are a lot of really good Sauvage derivatives that you can definitely use instead of Sauvage. But in case of the One EDP, I really can't think of any fragrance besides the EDT that you might want to use in replacement to the One EDP. And again, that's just a statement to how amazing this one is and how strong it's standing the test of time. Really like this one, fresh tobacco scent, sexy cardamom freshness. If you are going on a date or if you're just looking for a really nice fall, sexy, inviting, sensual kind of signature scent, this is a really good one. Be mindful, performance is not so well, 4 to 5 hours longevity. Projection is quite softer, but for a date fragrance, it kind of makes sense because you don't want something that's too beastly anyway to like annoy the date in front of you. So this is more subtle, more romantic. For me, I'll give it a pass. Last one right here, Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. Now, it goes without saying that Tom Ford has got to be one of my favorite brands. The more I get into them, the more I collect them, the more I smell them, try them, wear them, I just fall in love with the whole Tom Ford brand. I like how his fragrances can come across super playful, while at the same time comes across super official. Like you're in a really nice, expensive suit and tie. You're ready to get into your limo, being taken to a gala party or being taken to a really big business type of event. It just comes across that elegant, you know what I mean? And Tom Ford's Ombre Leather fits that bill in its entirety. It's sweet, it smells elegant, it smells official, suit and tie, and at the same time it's being playful. Oh, man, you smell like $1,000,000. You really, really do. And I would say, out of all the Tom Ford fragrances, this has got to be one of the more mass appealing options. And people who smell Tuscan leather before would think that leather and sweetness don't go well together in terms of compliments because Tuscan leather is quite a heavy scent. I would say that Ombre Leather fixes all of that problem. This one is actually mass appealing, performance is also well. If you had problems with Tuscan leather before, I would say go for Ombre Leather. It's also much more affordable as well. So yeah, this one, great option right here. I enjoy it every time I wear it. And to summarize everything, I enjoy Tom Ford as a brand in general. All right, guys, that's it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time in another video. Oh, don't forget to leave down in the comment section below as well what you wore last week, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Bye.